liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
All right, you are tapped in. Let's get right to it. So, word is out, or it's in the news feed, and it seems that everyone is getting hold of this thing and going all in on one Ashley Gonzalez, who was a police officer with the Houston Police Department. Well, as of today, she's an ex-police officer. She has been relieved or fired from her position. The thing about Ashley and why she's in the news is because she was a stumped down racist. She identified with white supremacy in a lot of respects. That could be said. Let me make it clear. This is a Latino person or Mexican who was a police officer with the Houston Police Department. To hear what she has to say is shocking. You guys are gonna want to see this. You need to hear what she's saying. But in terms of what she's saying and how she's going about saying it, I'm not going to air that here. That's not something we do here. We don't use, that type of language on Tapped In, on Tapped. But what's become of her, or what will become of her in terms of her actions, are playing out, and this is what we want to expose to you guys. We want you to see this, and you'll get the gist of what's going on as this story unfolds. But again, Ashley Gonzalez, ex-police officer, Houston PD, was recording herself on a friend's Instagram account, going all in on African Americans. Her hatred was out there. It was wide open. She was unabashedly speaking of her hatred for us, Black people here in America, but especially there in Houston, Texas. All right, that being said, let's drop this clip. Let's bring you guys in on this. But before we do, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to Tapped. All right, that is the Art of Political Discourse. You guys' participation and viewership means a great deal to us. We would also ask that you help us reach that goal, 5,000 subscribers for the Art of Political Discourse. Now, that being said, let's get to this clip, because there are going to be some comments I'm going to have to make or say as a result of this stuff right here, okay? But that being said, without further ado, let's drop this. And just so you know, this is courtesy of Houston Stringer. This is Dr. Matthews. She's a very prominent individual down there in Houston, very active. She is an activist. She represents the people down there, and by all accounts, she does not play. That being said, here you go. This is Dr. Matthews holding a press conference.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Candace Matthews, national renowned human civil rights activist, advocate, and author, I might say. Well, we're out here today, tonight actually, in regards to Officer Ashley Gonzalez. Well, I'm going to say used to be Officer Ashley Gonzalez. So I just find it interesting that she was just so bold and emboldened to just be talking like that on social media about Black people.
Well, again, so I'm going to cut in because this is something, the emboldenedness. When people like Ashley Gonzalez and others tend to step out of their lane and speak openly, unabashedly, unashamedly about Black people or others the way that they do, it's only because, and we have to understand this is a culture. So within that department, that culture exists. It exists. So Ashley is just a microcosm. She's just a bit of the problem. She's just the result of the issue. The element there is also just as bad or corrupt as Ashley is. And this is why she feels she was able to do this without repercussion. You have to look at, she's not intoxicated. If you guys will watch the video, she's not intoxicated at all. But she spoke of this mindset, the element of racism being not just in Houston PD, but also in the United States Marine Corps. All right. Now, I'm going to give you guys some feedback or, some input on this after she talks some more in terms of why most police officers still carry on or conduct themselves as rogue officers, corrupt cops, or guys who shouldn't have badges and guns. There's a reason behind that, and we'll share it soon.
Okay, and you think you're gonna be a police officer in my city over here displaying that kind of behavior? Baby, let me give the community an update. She is no longer working for HPD. She was gone as of today, okay, because she got that belt to that ass. Because what we're not gonna do is tolerate no police officers that's holding a badge and then you're damn racist. And then when I looked at the video in disgust because she made it clear about African Americans dropping the M bombs, calling us monkeys and all this and stuff. First of all, ma'am, you is not to catch me out because let's be clear, your teeth smaller than that big mouth that you was over there talking about. If we gonna talk, let's talk about that. But what you're not gonna do is talk about black people, and then you're gonna say that, well, when I go to work today, that you're gonna arrest somebody black. So I've been in talks with leadership with HPD. And I made it very clear, because let me tell y'all the difference between the news and the difference between activists and advocates. What we do, we put the belt to the ass and apply the pressure. Okay, the news, they just gonna cover the story. No, we're not gonna cover the story and be done with it. We're gonna follow this because that is very dangerous. That is like a chef that don't wash his hands. Okay, that is how dangerous that is. And so, like I said, I've been in talks with leadership with HPD. She's currently under investigation, even though she's fired. But I've made my demands very clear, and I'm going to continue to apply the pressure. You are going to lose your T-code license, ma'am. Okay? You are not going to be able to work at any police agency because I'm going to follow it. And if I find out that any police agency, because I know damn sure you're not going to precinct 1 through 8. I know that already off top. But any other the 254 counties, and I find out that you going to any one of those police agencies, I'm going to drop that heat on that agency. And I'm going to send the DOJ and everybody up in there, and I'm going to flush your behind out like a damn roach. Baby, when I get through with you, you are going to be like wet dope. You won't be able to go nowhere. And I mean it. Because when I say I'm going to put that belt on your ass, I mean just that. Because this is what we're not going to do in our city. So do we have any questions?
Candice, can you explain for those that haven't seen the video yet, which we will be releasing, what more or less break it down, what's the context of what was said?
The context on what was said by this racist. And you know what I find out that's really interesting about this is that she's Hispanic, y'all. You just like black people. Baby, I used to come pick your ass up. So why is you over here trying to pick and choose race and all that? So anyway, basically what she did, she turned around and she made it very clear how she don't like black people, was she saying the N-word several times and saying it with confidence. And then she made it clear, like when she goes to work, she's going to be arresting black people. So now what we need to look at is who is in Harris County Jail right now that is innocent because of her racist ideologies.
Now, before Ashley did the Instagram post or whatever she did, however she did it, she did speak about her previous encounter with a black individual that day or prior to that recording on Instagram. And her account was she had him in a headlock and he was all kind of hard R's. So I was wondering, where's this individual? I would like to get a piece on that and air that, and just to hear what he has to say in terms of his encounter with ex-officer, Houston police officer Ashley Gonzalez. That's of interest. That is of interest.
And she thinks that she about to go to another agency. No, you're not, because I'm gonna put this belt on your ass. I don't care where you go.
Mm.
Because I'm going to follow this stuff and we're going to follow it to the letter. And that's just how that's going to go. Because let me tell y'all, I don't have time for this. Our city don't have time for this. I'm not sending my kids out to go hang out just like y'all, and then they turn around here and then you wondering, dang, you took my child to jail because They riding around while black? I don't think so. That's what we're not going to do. Any other questions?
What is your plan of action? What's next? What are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing next?
Okay, what are we doing at this time right now? Like I said, I've been in talks with leadership with HPD. An investigation is underway at this point right now. But what me and my team are going to do, we are going to file a complaint with T Cole because I'm going for her license. And that's
Oh,
just the bottom line. Baby, you're not going to be able to work at no security place. Baby, you might as well go on and go to Sonic and make an extra long hot dog with the extra onions. Because that's all that you about to get ready to do. So, and I'm going to say just like this. See, I got smoke for racist cops. And I don't give a damn where you come from. And I'm going to let you know right now, I want all the smoke, even if you watching it. Watch it if you want to, because I'm going to smoke your behind out here.
okay. All right, Dr. Matthews don't seem like she's playing at all with this issue. All right, now that was just that aspect of the interview. I have a part two I'm going to run right now, but here it is. Here's the problem. Here's what we think is the problem at Tapped. We have a president who has spoken out for law enforcement in such a way that his speech or his advocacy of police all over the country is about police first. Damn the Constitution, damn the laws, damn the rights of the citizen. All right. Donald Trump has consistently advocated for a law and order approach that empowers police to use aggressive tactics, including suggesting that allowing officers to be extraordinarily rough for a short period could end crime. He has stated that police should be allowed to do their job without fear of losing their pensions, families, or houses due to investigations into misconduct. We think that just that statement alone emboldens certain elements within police departments or precincts to behave the way that they do. Had the president came out and say, hey, man, this is law and order, but first and foremost, how we make sure that law and order is applied and that it is followed and respected is by having our officers first represent law and order. He did the opposite. In fact, April 2025, he had an executive action on immunity and resources. You know, Trump had signed an executive order intended to strengthen and unleash law enforcement, which included provisions to provide legal resources and indemnification, for officers facing lawsuits, as well as reviewing federal consent decrees that limit police behavior. So Trump would say, let's take the kids' gloves off these police, these cops, and let them do their job. Let them do what they do. Bust heads. We're not worried about constitutional rights. We're not worried about legality, law and order. We're talking about, hey, man, putting fear in the criminal. That's it. So you use a criminal or you allow those who are supposed to be representatives of law and order authority to become criminals, to stop criminals. I don't think that'll work. And from the looks of this right here, that isn't working. All right. That being said, listen, take this with a grain of salt, man. For all you guys that are listening and girls who are police officers, just do the right thing. Even as a police officer, you have an obligation to do the right thing and do it by the letter of the law. Don't do it by the talk you hear in the locker room or in bars when you guys are off duty and you're talking about your disgust, disdain, distrust, or disrespect of any ethnicity or demographic in the community you serve. Just do your job as you should. And when you do your job as you should, those who are in the wrong, who break laws, will be dealt with. They'll be arrested and, hey, sent to wherever it is, it's decided they should go. But to be the judge, jury, and executioner, to be racist when you're supposed to serve the society or the public, you're in the wrong job. So kudos to Dr. Matthews. Yeah, remove her credentials in any way or access she has to work for another police department in this country. She need to go back to Mexico and see if she can become a cop there. You know, and if that's the case, if she's able to do that, then I would advise blacks, don't go to Mexico no more. All right. Now, hey, you guys take care of yourselves and each other. This is Tapped.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.